As the seasons change, so can the way migraines impact some people. This is the time of year when cooler temperatures are coming, meaning there will be temperature fluctuations at the beginning of the season. Triggers could include changing barometric pressure, windy or stormy weather, or humidity or dry air. When cooler temperatures arrive, humidity will decrease as the days get windier, leading to more triggers. Experts have some recommendations to help prevent migraines.
Keep a headache diary. That way they know how frequently their migraines are happening, but also can identify patterns and what triggers are unique to them. They can also keep a consistent schedule. That's very important. So sleeping, keep going to sleep at the same time, eating at the same time of the day.
Doctors recommend drinking more water than usual to stay hydrated and be mindful of your sleep. The days are getting shorter, which can change your sleep schedule and trigger migraine attacks.